What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the first L of the season. It was gonna happen at one point. I think nobody imagined it would happen in the way it did happen, but it did, and we need to deal with it. We will talk about it. We will kind of look forward a little bit to the Inter game because that's basically in a couple of days. It's on Sunday already, so it's very relevant. And we will talk about everything that transpired post game, what the media had to say, what just the fan base had to say in general, and then we will see where we will land with the show. But Norbert, Malik, how are you guys doing on a different setting for the first time this season?
Yeah, I mean, we had 11 games, we lost one. I think it's better overall, than what we expected. So I think it's okay. And yeah, let's talk about this game that, as Malik said, reminded me of the last few years a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah, I woke up today confused because I checked the calendars and I thought it was 2022 again with that performance. But yeah, it was yeah. We'll get into it, but yeah, wasn't too happy. So
if it would be 2022, I think Mikoli would still be out, not improved. But yeah.
It feels like 20. It felt like yesterday felt like last season. That's just what it was. It was a flashback to last season. It's okay. I will say what I'm gonna say is not overreacting. By the way, overreacting would be me coming on and saying, "Yeah, it's never gonna work with Motta." Like that's overreacting, basically. Like I'm not saying that. What I'm gonna say in the show is concerns I have. You know, and with concerns I mean just things that need to be fixed that have nothing to do with one game, just purely based on what I've seen so far this season. And it kind of exploded in our faces yesterday. That's basically what I'm gonna talk about because yesterday everything I discussed in my preview didn't happen. Everything Motta said 20 more minutes before kickoff, literally, when he got interviewed, didn't happen. We didn't control the game. We got control. We never set the pace. They set the pace. We never had a solution. They had all the solutions. We couldn't make in-game changes. We look lost. Like, we look all over the place. Nobody had the answer. It felt like I was watching players. I was like, I feel, which is weird because I thought we started off the season well and fresh. I was looking at players and I was like, some of you look like you just run a marathon. Like legs were gone. Like they couldn't keep up with Stuttgart. And they were all over the place, and that's just a reality. That has nothing to do with overreacting. That's just like losing is losing. The way we lost yesterday, you cannot just brush that aside. That's how I'm looking at it. Like if we had a good game and Danilo gives away a pen and they convert, I'm like, it's on us. Like we shoot ourselves in the foot. That was not the case yesterday. Like we should have lost 4-5-0. You know, that's just
Yeah.
reality. That's not just a loss. It's a loss that you need to talk about because on top of that, we again created nothing. I've been saying it after every single win. I remember I did my January reaction. I was like, if the winter doesn't give that away that pen, we were struggling again to create anything. Like Lazio, like we struggle to create chances. And yesterday, that was against a team that were wide open. Like when I talk, like I rewatched part of the game. If we were just composed to a 50% of what we usually do when we keep the ball, there was so much space. But the fact that we couldn't was worry. It's a worry. That's why I was looking at yesterday's game. But I don't know how you guys are looking at it. Because like Norbert said, it's the first loss of the season. It's not the start to the season is still better than I would have imagined. I'm gonna talk for myself. But I don't know how you're
Yeah.
looking at the game, Norbert.
Yeah. So short term, I have big concerns. See how we get better and better each week. I'm not saying each game, but like each week, let's say. But it's not happening. It's like we are regressing or something. And it seems like whenever Danilo is on the pitch, our defense is also like really bad and creates big holes in the back. And as you mentioned in the video after the game when you rated the players, like Danilo is not at this level anymore. He can play when Gatti needs a rest or Kalulu needs a rest, but that needs to be against a small team because he's horrible. And again, we're not creating anything, and short term is really worrying. Um, I don't know what counts short term, but it's like 11 games, and we played good, like I don't know, 2 or 3, probably, like really, really good. And yeah, this weekend we play against Inter, and I really can't see how would we win that. They also rested players. I checked their lineup as well.
I was watching, to be
So
honest. I was watching that bit of the Inter game. They weren't as good as last season, you know, in my
mm,
opinion, against a young boys team, to be honest. But they also have
yeah,
injuries. So do we, by the way. So
yeah, yeah. So and also, it didn't help that, for example, Douglas Luiz just
yeah,
I don't know how does he work, but he was mentioned in the starting lineup, and suddenly they realized that he has muscle fatigue. Like I don't understand. Like he
it
felt a
happened in
cramp or
fitness.
something.
Yeah, something like that, probably.
Okay, so yeah, something he needs to figure it out because right now it's not figured out, and our defense is solid except when Danilo is on the pitch, but we need to score goals, and we can't. I don't know. We just can't create. It's really bad. So something needs to change, and I don't know. Do you guys think that he can figure out something within a few days? Because I really seriously doubt it. So yeah, short term, I'm worried.
Yeah, it is concerning short term, especially with the amount of injuries we have. That definitely doesn't. I don't like to blame things on injuries, but that definitely doesn't help whatsoever. But at the same time, like before yesterday, I was thinking to myself, yeah, we struggle against deep blocks, breaking them down and stuff. But now I think we also have an issue if a team aggressively presses us, like Stuttgart did. So yeah, it's not looking good at the moment, but I'm sure there's gonna be a solution. And once the players start coming back, it might be ugly in the short term for now, which obviously I'm scared would impact the rest of the season. But once everyone starts coming back to full fitness, I have no doubts that everything's gonna be fine again.
I think one solution is I think Yildiz needs to play behind the striker.
I agree, 100%.
Like on the left, it's getting worse and worse. I swear, like how the weeks passing by, and until Koopmeiners is back, I think that's one solution that could help. And Mbangula or even Conceição, whoever can be on the left. But yeah, Yildiz needs to be behind the striker.
You know what it is? I was watching that game yesterday, and I was like, we could have coal miners on that pitch, and some might view Gonzalez as a starter. I don't know. And McKennie might be 100% fit. I don't know what people were. We would have lost that game the same way. Like yesterday was more than just like individually the players are not good. They panic a lot of the times. They couldn't keep the ball, and that's just individually they were not good. But as a team, we were lost. Like we were just lost. I tweeted out minute 6. I was like, okay, wake up, because that was already worrying. 6 minutes in, I was like, this is not good. I saw what was coming basically, and I picture it with coal miners in that team and whoever people will suggest, and I was like, that's not really the issue. The issue was we had no clue how to beat the press. When I talked about it all summer about we didn't do enough in the back and we lack speed up front. Yes, we have Conceição, but in general, we lack speed in that team. That's one of the issues I have. And we cannot do anything about it because they made that decision. So it is what it is, I guess. But they pressed like the wingers high. Like when they attack with 3, 4 every single time. When we attack, it's slow. Like it's really slow.
Yeah.
Like that's just what it is. It's really slow. It feels like it takes ages before everybody gathers in and around the box, and I'm like, you're not gonna hurt teams like that a lot of the times. It's just not gonna happen. And I see people saying we underestimated Stuttgart. I don't think Motta I'm not gonna say Motta underestimated Stuttgart, because that will be very like I don't think he's that bad as a coach. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't underestimate the worrying. Like, the more concerning one is he didn't have a solution to it. That is forget, like, you can underestimate a team, but you go into halftime, it's still 0-0. It's still 0-0. You can come out with something else. We came out with basically the same thing. You know, let's be honest. It was basically the same thing. That is more so worrying than you potentially underestimated Stuttgart, because I don't think he underestimated Stuttgart. If you go off his presser, he definitely did not underestimate Stuttgart, because he brought up certain points where I'm like, you will only say these things if you actually deep dive into Stuttgart. And let's be honest, they're professionals. They're surrounded with, I don't know, 10 staff members. They do analyze their opponents. And if you just listen to the presser, he definitely knew what was coming. The worrying thing is there was no answer to it. That is more concerning, in my opinion, because even the subs, like lately, against Lazio, kind of did work. But I was very confused yesterday. Like, I was really confused. It's 0-0, and he started to kind of experiment, in my opinion. I was like, this is not the moment to experiment, excuse me. I'm already not a fan of him chopping and changing the team too much every single week. I'm not a fan of it, to be honest. But it's 0-0. It takes off Conceição. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say players that were having a good game, but I was like, you take off Conceição and Vlahovic. I was not sure what the game plan was at that point. I was like, you're kind of losing it. I'm not really sure what the idea is behind this, because now you're pushing Yildiz and we are more up front. He said, we are Cambiasso, so they can interchange and overlap. That kind of worked, so I got that point. But with the Vlahovic sub, and I was confused. Like, I really was confused. And then towards the end, he completely lost it. 7 minutes to go. I wish for those 7 minutes, we had Allegri, because I knew what Allegri would have done. It wouldn't be Rui who came in. It would be Thuram would stay and Gatti came on that pitch. That was what was gonna happen. I'm still not sure, and we would have still potentially lost that game. I don't know, but I do not understand what those subs were at that moment in time. I don't. I really was confused when Danilo got red card. I was like, okay, it's Gatti coming on. No, or was that just me? I was like, that's the common thing to, like, the sensible thing to do. Just put a shit house player like Gatti into that team, and he lost it. Like, I was looking at him, I was like, he's trying to do whatever at this point to salvage whatever you can salvage out of this game, and we didn't deserve a point at all, like, absolutely no chance. But my issue was 7 minutes to go. You were absolutely gonna rob Stuttgart a point. You need to get it over the line. I know it's a very young team, unexperienced. I get it, but with 7 minutes to go, you just need to find a way to get it over the line and just call it a day. Because now you make life complicated in the Champions League for no good reason at all, in my opinion.
Yeah. The problem was that on the wings, our players were double teamed, Savona with two, like the left back was coming at him and the left winger, and Conceição can't really defend, and we can expect him to defend. So he should have started this game a lot more defensively on the wings, I think. And whatever, McKennie, if he plays, let's play him on the wing or something, and he could have helped. But not to try to be too coachy here. It was really bad, and it wasn't like the Leipzig game that you could see that we have chances and we can win this, or no, it was lost from the first minute, and that was really worrying. And we didn't even have the ball that much, and this was the shit show. So horrible. So I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we never, ever looked like winning that game. No, there wasn't a moment where I thought to myself, oh yeah, there was a point where even like, especially after the missed penalty, I was like, yeah, I hope this ends as a draw because we're lucky to even escape with a draw, which shows how bad it was. And yeah, 1-0 at the end of the day, like I'm trying to make peace with it to the point that, you know, at least we didn't absolutely ruin our goal difference, which was very possible yesterday with the way things
Yeah.
went.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's also an important point. You know, goal differences. Also, away goals count more than home goals, so that would have absolutely destroyed us. So let me read out a couple of chats. And sorry, people, if I cannot get them all out. And do smash the like button. The team needs time, but Motta was definitely at fault for the game. It looked like we were saving for the Inter game. That cannot be the case, in my opinion, this early. You know, if we played Lecce at home on the weekend, I was like, cool. Which is also weird. Then you play your starters right now. But like, if it was Lecce, then Lille, it's too early on the season to think about I'm gonna rest players. Like, and also it's too early for him in terms of there's still no fixed lineup. I'm not with that. If that actually was the case, let me see. If you take into account the schedule, all the big games that we didn't win were at home, and the games against Cagliari, it's not looking good. Again, it's a long time. Like in 5 months, we can be a very solid team, and home and away it doesn't matter for us. You know, we cannot look in the future. So in 5 months, we can be a very good team, and we can go to Napoli and win, and go to Roma and win. And to be honest, we can still do because like Napoli are picking up the points, but I'm not impressed, and Roma are not good. So you can easily go to Roma and beat them. So I'm not really worried or concerned about that part. But I agree, you need to pick up points at home. Fitness level, the fitness level is going down drastically. But it's because there are some injuries and some players are playing more. Like Vlahovic is playing everything at this point. I don't think Motta underestimated Stuttgart. They're just better than the league suggested. I agree. Even Motta said, with regards to injuries, no excuse. No, there are no excuses. Like there are no excuses. It's gonna hamper you, and then like it's gonna have an effect on the team and especially on the development because you don't have players you just brought in available for a couple of games, so it's not gonna help. It's gonna take even longer to build something. That is an issue, but it's not an issue to the extent that you should be getting dominated by Stuttgart at home for 90 minutes. That's that. Inter will destroy us if we play like we did during the week. McKennie, not the answer. Locatelli is weak and easily pressured. Yildiz is not good as a winger. Let me see. If we lost 1-0 with a scrappy goal, I would not have been as concerned, but the performance next level was worried. I agree, the performance was worried. Everything switched. Let me see. Who was going to score the goal after he subbed off Chico and Vlahovic? I had no idea, to be honest. That was my confusion. I was not sure what the plan was at that moment in time, because Vlahovic, I'm gonna go out on a limb, score like about 70% of our goals this season, maybe. I don't know. So I was not sure what the game plan was after that. I feel like Motta was as confused as were the players on the pitch, 100%. It's better in the long run, but in the long run that we did not get a lucky break after such an atrocious performance. Napoli have goals in them. We don't. That's a problem. We were saying in the beginning of the season where the goals going to come from. We were right. Yeah.
Well, it's not like where are they coming from. It's who is creating them, because that's the bigger problem. Like
Yeah,
goals
that's
are coming
Yeah.
when there is a creation. So
I agree. Like something needs to happen, and I agree with you, Norbert. Like short term, it's not gonna happen overnight. Like that's just not possible. We just need to go back to being solid, you know, against Inter,
Yeah.
and do what we have been doing in
just
games
have the
prior
ball.
to. Yeah, try to have the ball, which is not gonna be easy against Inter because they play at home and they will try to have that ball as well. Not to the Stuttgart level extent, in my opinion, but still, you know. So I agree. Like short term, it's not fixable. Long term, it should be fixable. I don't know what the answers are. Like I agree. I don't think Yildiz can play on that wing position. Like it's not good. It doesn't look good. He needs more freedom. That's just how I'm looking at it. But you need to come up with solutions for that. You know, you can put him there, but then you need to find a solution for, okay, who's going to replace Yildiz and that. Like, it's not as easy as it sounds. And on top of that,
Yeah.
right now, there are not a lot of options. Like, there are not a lot of options. The team kind of picks himself on Sunday. Like, it's just the players you have available. From back to front, you only have those players available. So, again, on Sunday, it needs to be solid. I'm not scared to go to Inter on Sunday, by the way. Like, I'm not going on Sunday. I'm like, it's going to be that type of performance again. I'm not as scared. However, that Stuttgart game was extremely telling. Like, it was telling. Because everything we thought we were good at, we were absolutely rubbish at. And the things we were not good at, we were absolutely rubbish at. You know, so it is a worry. There's nothing positive coming out of that game besides Perin looking like Buffon. There was absolutely nothing positive coming out of that game. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like you said, the sub. He brought on Atsic and he was lost. Like he had no idea what he needed to do. And I don't blame him, by the way, but he was really lost. I felt for him. Locatelli, I don't know, like no impact. Pre-game, Motta did an interview. He said Fagioli is unbelievable and he is the motor of the team. Well, it didn't start. The motor never started, and it hurted us. We got pressured, and we couldn't play out from the back. Like nobody could. We were just hoofing it up to Vlahovic in that first half, and everybody was killing Vlahovic. I'm like, here we go again. Like, I'm sorry, unless you have Didier Drogba up front, nobody's gonna make something happen with the balls he was getting yesterday. It's just impossible.
Yeah.
It's just not possible. It's just forget about it. If you want to have a good Vlahovic, get him in and around the goal. If not, you take him off, fine. But the solution was not what we did yesterday. Absolutely not. Even though Weah came on and I actually thought he had a decent game for once. Like he actually did something. He actually overlapped a few times. So that's that. But positives, no. There's nothing positive after a Stuttgart game, you know. That doesn't mean you throw the entire season, what we've done so far, away, you know. There are two things, like two ways to look at it. It's okay to call things out and still say it's the first loss of the season. It's the first loss of the season. But the same issues happen, and actually they got worse yesterday. That's just basically it. Let me read a few more, and then I have a few questions for you guys. Vlahovic can create his own goals. Rarely can only one on this team who can create his own goals. Maybe Yildiz and Conceição. Well, I agree with that. My takeaway from the beginning of the season is that Giuntoli has a lot of work in the next few transfer windows. Well, we knew that. I think everybody knew that. To be honest, I don't think
this is already a miracle that we are here, like with these players, these many players, and this.
I'm forever shocked that we signed like Coop and Thuram and Douglas Luiz at the same time.
And by the way, when we did, I still said I'm not convinced. You know, should we like the Douglas Luiz money? I was like, did we really needed him? Gonzalez, I think we overpaid. Like I said all these things, but we're never gonna fix everything in one summer. I think nobody thinks we were gonna do that. Everybody knew we had a lot of work for years to come, but that's just what it is. After watching Real Madrid and Barcelona today, Juve is way behind. Yeah, again, we knew that. Like we all like, people need to, like, you know what it is. That's why when I read these comments, not calling anyone out by the way, tells me that everybody is also surprised that we are where we are right now. Because at this moment in time, everybody's like, but we're still far away from, like, reading those comments kind of suggests that you're still surprised that we are in this position already compared to what we were for 3-4 years in a row. So, but we are behind. Nobody denies that. But let's move on. The few takeaways of that game is obviously we were bad, obviously. Perin was amazing. But the Danilo one, it kind of sparked a lot of discussion. And for once, it wasn't me, you know, which is surprising because I backed him in my previous. Said, yeah, he will do well, you know. I praised him post Lazio. I was like, he actually changed the game. And then Motta said he changed the game. And I was like, wow, yeah, I'm praising Danilo. What I don't like is that people are now saying, "Yeah, but he's done this season." When I got like on my own channel, I got slated every single time when I talked about Danilo. He didn't became rubbish over the summer. If you think that, you were lying all this time. Like he didn't became rubbish for being on holiday for 4 weeks. That's not the case. Because if you think he's rubbish now, but you didn't think he was rubbish 4 or 5 months ago, you were lying the entire time. He's an average player the moment he joined from Man City. The people who think we won a swap with Cancelo are insane. I'll repeat it
Yep.
until I'm in my grave. They're insane. I don't care. Cancelo makes mistakes. Danilo is a walking mistake. He's average. He's always been average. I don't care he play for City or Real Madrid. I can name 100 players that play for top clubs and are average. We had a bunch of them. Like, let's be completely honest. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear his trophy cabinet. You know, I don't want to hear that. Like Zaccardo won a World Cup. I don't want to have that talk at all. He is average. He's average the moment he walked into that building. He got praised for doing the absolute bare minimum, for talking rubbish on social media, and the club spoon feeding fans that Danilo won, and everybody was like, "Oh, Danilo," because we're rubbish, and that was the only light, the good thing. I think the club was putting out there. He has been rubbish. He's always been rubbish. This is nothing new. I'm not sure why a lot of people now are like, "Oh, but he's done now." It didn't happen overnight. This is who he is. He's not good. He's not good. So I'm not gonna blame him for yesterday because that's who he is. He played him, and I was like, yeah, he will do a job. If we cannot play him at home against Stuttgart, then we need to sign a big time player in January, which Giuntoli already confirmed, which is good because they know Danilo is rubbish at this point. They do know. He cannot be trusted, and he's average. Like he cost us the game in 3 minutes. Like he completely threw it, or like the team cost us the game because the way we were playing. But you were getting a point until he was like, yeah, fuck this, like F this. I'm gonna take a super yellow card, give away a ridiculous pen, and take my second yellow card, which I don't care. He's suspended for Lille, good, because there's no risk of him actually starting. But yeah, I talked about Danilo, so you guys can. I spoke about it for weeks and weeks, so you guys can have your say. Maybe
years and years, not weeks and
yeah,
weeks.
years and years.
I've been waiting. Yesterday after I saw him getting the red card, I was like, "Oh, tomorrow Ali is gonna go off." So just
No,
we
but
let you have the floor. And
no,
I mean, what you're saying is true, but like it's just amusing to hear because not many people realize it.
I hate it because I wish I wish he went on that pitch and he was unbelievable. Like I really hope that, because that man maybe would have won that game. I don't know, or he had a good game. But man, I gave him a shot again. He's just not good. He's slow. He doesn't read the game. He's just he can defend. I'm sorry. Like when I say he can defend, I'm not saying he's a striker playing in the back line. He can defend. I'm not saying that. But on this level, he can defend. Like it's just impossible. You know, it's when Savona looks like a better defender and he was rubbish, we have an issue. Like we have an issue. So you guys go.
Yeah, capitano. Instagram capitano Danilo. I don't know. I always said he's not good, and accepted that he's playing. But yeah, again, people are silly saying that we won the trade with the Cancelo trade. I just hope he's not going to play on games that matters, and and his contract just runs out or something. And in January we need someone, and we will get someone, so that's good. It's confirmed. We will get someone, or I don't know, bring back Rugani or something.
He would have done a better job, a far better job.
Oh, for sure.
I'm never forgetting that Rugani run. What was it? 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Until the Villarreal game, and afterwards he just got hooked, and we never saw him again.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to talk about Danilo because I just really want to forget that he ever played for Juventus. To be honest, nothing crazy. and let's hope we get some quality during the winter.
I'll never forgive Paratici for giving up my baby Cancelo for Danilo.
You know what is?
Yeah.
I'd rather watch Cancelo play and make boneheaded mistakes time to time than watch Danilo play. That's what I've always said. At least I know Cancelo is gonna offer me a lot on his good day than Danilo on his good day. On the bad day, they both offer the same, like weird mistakes. But on their good days, it's like, oh my god, it actually pisses me off. I needed to have that discussion with.
But he has the grinta. Come on, man. He has the grinta. Okay.
He has those Instagram posts.
So does
come on.
Pinsolio. So does Pinsolio. He has also a lot of grinta, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like these players. Same for Pinsolio. I don't like these players. I don't care if he's goalkeeper, third choice goalkeeper. I don't like it. It's in the face. Like the club is putting it out there. I'm like, I don't care. We're not good. We're trying to build something. I don't want to see that. Like I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Like I remember last season we were absolutely rubbish last season, and they put out videos from McKennie walking to training and joking. I'm like, okay. Like I don't know what to do with that. Like I have no idea what to do with that. Same with the Danilo one. That was my point. It's fake from the beginning. If the club needs to put it out there every single week, a couple of times, it's fake. It's just fake. And I mean, everybody who actually cared about the club knew it was absolutely fake, you know. And the fact that he knows and he's trying to get that clause out because he wants to play more tells you a lot. It's just I'm hoping that they get that clause out and Motta's like, I'm still not going to play you, buddy. Like, he can be played. Sorry. But it's done, yeah. He played, he messed up. He's not the only one to blame for yesterday's result because we should have been down a couple even before that mistake, before that red. And at the end of the day, Perin saved that pen, so it was still not the final straw. But yeah, he's just come on. It's unbelievable that he's that he got praised. Like it's
and I read the comments, and Calafiori is mentioned. His knee got injured.
Did the diagnosis come out? Because judging by how
It looked
the fall
bad.
was, I'm assuming MCL sprain.
Yeah, I think it's a sprain as well.
Yeah, MCL.
Just a sprain. Okay.
It
And
looked
that's
like
the same injury I had.
It looked
Which
like a
I'm
sprain.
good now.
But that's Arsenal's problem and his problem as well, to be honest. But we need to move on from it, and we will. I think that's obvious. We will move on from Danilo. It's just right now we're in a situation where he's gonna play games by default, you know. And but like you said, Norbert, it should be at home against Lecce. It cannot be in the Champions League. It cannot be. It cannot even be away to Bruges. And I'm not joking. It can be because
I trust Cabal more than him.
I want to see Cabal as a center back. I have a fear he I feel like he's good on the ball. So
I think that's the plan. I think he Motta wants to make him a new Calafiori. Same idea. Like Calafiori was a left back, Cabal was a left back, and
he will have a lot of work with Cabal because it's too hot and cold for me still. Like there are very good things and there are very concerning things with Cabal, to be honest. But I think we already knew that from the first games he played and yesterday as well. You know, it can look good. It can look very, I don't know, like panic mode esque. But I don't have a lot of high expectations for Cabal. I said it when he came in. I was like, good, you know, but his positioning, his reading of the game, it needs to go up 10 notches at this moment in time. You know, on the ball, it's pretty okay. But sometimes you also like decisions he makes on the ball at times. It needs to improve. But again, I don't have high expectations for Cabal. If he flops, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Cabal, come on. No. You know, I'm not saying he will flop, by the way. Yeah, like, there are no expectations with him, you know. So it's like when he brings on Atsic, and I'm like, I don't have expectations. I cannot expect you to save this club. Yeah. If you do, fine. If you play well, good. I'm happy for you, but I don't expect you to do that. I'm expecting that from Koopmeiners, Douglas Luiz, Gonzalez, like those players. I'm expecting you to actually take us to the next level, not Cabal and Co. If they do, fine, but yeah, I don't have high expectations for these players. So that was that. let's move on a little bit for Sunday. Oh no, forget about Sunday. Forget about Sunday for a second. I want to talk about Thiago Motta, because he took the blame, which is refreshing that a coach comes out and
Yeah.
he needed to, because nobody would have believed him. Like Allegri would have come out and he would have not taken the blame. We know how his pressers were, and everybody would riot. He had no choice than take the blame, because the blame was on him yesterday, right? For all the praise we gave him so far, you also need to take the blame. And we look like last year's team, and we had no solutions. And it's all well and good to say, okay, the players need to play well, but when you're that clueless as a group on the pitch, that's what I said about Allegri last season. I need to look at the coach. When the players are completely lost for 90 minutes, even the guys you bring in, that's on you, because it kind of tells me the players have no idea what they need to do, and they need help. When we have top players, I can expect more from the players to just figure out a little bit, to adjust. But when you have a very young team, players who are playing this competition for the first time or the second time, the first couple of games, like you have Savona playing Serie C last season, excuse me. You had Cabal playing for Verona. You had Fagioli being suspended. You have Yildiz playing his first full season, first time in the Champions League. When you have so many things, when McKennie is your most experienced Champions League player, I'm expecting the coach to step in and, guide them. But then I sat back and I was like, you know what? This is also Motta's first time in the Champions League as a coach.
Yeah.
He needs to learn as well. And hopefully yesterday was a lesson.
By the way, did you guys see or notice the Slavona's long ball? He had an amazing long cross to, I think, Yildiz or someone. I'm not sure, or maybe it was Vlahovic.
I
But
probably
it was
blanked
amazing.
it out.
The diagonal. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I think I vaguely remember it.
But I don't know. I even tried Savona as a centre back instead of Danilo. Anyone.
Let's put you as a center back, Norbert.
To be honest, I will do the job, man.
Yeah,
I'm big. I'm physical. I'm fast.
we have the Eastern European grintas.
Yeah. I once is my 1 minute glory. I played an indoor game against first division striker in Hungary, and I removed him from the pitch. So
Well, I mean, if we go, like, what do you want to see on Sunday? Because I've seen people say, I just look decent, do not get slated. I've seen somebody, I need a top performance. I mean, what do you want to see, and what do you think is realistically what we will see on Sunday?
personally, I I want to win, but I know it's really, really hard, but I want to have the ball like 60%. I want to have a few chances, and one of them we score, and 1-0, and we win. That's all I want. But if that doesn't happen, I think a 1-1 is realistic for me. But I really want to win.
Yeah, obviously, when we play Inter, I always want to smash them. I can't stand them, but I think with the injuries we have and the form that we're on, very inconsistent. I think not losing, especially away, wouldn't be a bad result whatsoever.
Yeah.
Performance-wise, like, how do you go from that to, because I've seen people say, I need a top game. How do you go from the Stuttgart performance to a top game? Like, realistically, for me, that sounds extremely unrealistic. How much I would want to see that, a top game, it's not realistic, It's just not.
Yeah.
Also because we're missing
That will
players.
be.
It's not an excuse when I say I'm missing players, but if Inter miss players, and they are, it's different. They played with each other for a couple of seasons now. They can cope with it much easier than we can. We're still searching with the players who are out, and now you need to switch it up again, which it's gonna be automatically more difficult. I don't feel sorry for Motta, by the way. I'm not saying that, but just by default, it's gonna be more difficult for us. My hope is just that they woke up today and they forgot about it. Like, you cannot go into the Inter game, step on that pitch, and be like, man, remember what happened against Stuttgart a couple of days. If that happens, we're gonna get smoked. We will get smoked on Sunday. They just need to, for some, I don't know how, they need to step on that pitch and act like it's the first game of the season and nothing basically happened. Or act
They
like
need
the
to
Leipzig
believe
game
it.
just happened.
We need to have the ball. Like that's it. We can't lose. I really would hate if we would lose, even if we played this bad against Stuttgart.
Yeah, losing against Inter would just send everyone into a huge frenzy, I think. And you know how our fans can react in such situations. But yeah, I just hope we can bounce back. I think a few tactical adjustments here and there, play Yildiz as the 10 and stuff. That
Kalulu
would be.
Gatti in the back.
Kalulu Gatti, Cambiaso, Savona, Locatelli, Fagioli, Mbangola, Yildiz, Conceição. I don't know if Conceição is Conceição back?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
suspended for a month.
Conceição and Vlahovic. That would be my lineup at least.
Someone say, I think. Oh no, you go.
Sorry.
No.
I just wanted to say that Savona. I think I would not play him now. I would play Cabal on the left and Cambiaso on the right.
Yeah,
I think it might be more stable and might. Yeah, I don't know. Savona is good. Is my son, but I think against Inter, I would play it differently.
Someone say. Somebody said, I think it comes down to player's position. Fagioli better in attacking position, Thuram as a DM, and Yildiz in the central attacking position. It is like, you know what it is right now. Like, I agree. Like, positioning, I do not like players and like, I don't like Yildiz in that position. I'm not a fan of it. To be honest, right now at this moment in time, I don't think he can play that position to the level it's required to play that position. I'm not saying he can in the future, but right now, to help him out and get him going, I think you need to get him more in and around the box behind whoever plays up top, which is going to be Vlahovic at this moment in time. Like, it's just purely to help him and also help us, because I think it will get more out of him that will benefit us as a club, With Fagioli, I agree, but we play Fagioli in different positions. He's very inconsistent as a player. That's who he is.
Don't play him. I would not play him against Inter. Locatelli and Thuram is really solid, I think. And then Yield is ahead of them. Yeah, Fagioli is not stable enough for Inter.
Is anyone panicking? Because I didn't ask that question. Is anybody in panic mode?
No.
I'm also a bit confused why people are in panic mode. Like, panic mode is if you lost your third, fourth game of the season already, and your expectation was we're gonna win that league 100%. Then I would say, yeah, you should be in panic mode. But that was not my expectation. Is you're gonna compete, which is still possible by losing a game, and it's not even in the league; it's in the Champions League, by the way. It's still possible, and that's why I'm not panicking. There's no need to panic. I don't think Motta is panicking. I don't think the players are panicking, nor should they panic. They just need to deal with a loss. It's part of the game. It was a brutal loss. That's 100%. It wasn't just an off day type of loss. It's just brutal loss. You got absolutely dominated. I get that, but panicking right now is a bit excessive in my opinion.
Yeah, no panicking here.
Yeah, I'm calm. It's just one loss. Like, if it was 3 losses in a row, I'd start being like, it's
as you said, short term is really worrying that we're really not creating anything, but also it's a complete change for the whole squad. Lots of new players, new coach, everything. We talked about this already. I think we're okay, honestly.
Yeah. Plus, we won our first 2 Champions League games, but we do play the Lille super team next. And
they won against Atletico Madrid,
they
right?
beat both Madrids.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look good. But again, I've watched in the league as well. They can also look really
Yeah, exactly. It
average at
depends
times.
what you
Yeah,
get.
it depends. It depends. But if they're on it, they're on it. You know.
Yeah,
So
but I'm sure they'll be hyped up for it, especially if after those 2 wins and like Champions League, anything can happen. So
yeah, they should be. They
I'm
should
more
be.
concerned about Villa though. So that's not gonna be fun.
No.
Mm.
Yeah.
Alex saying if we lose to Inter in convincing fashion, then it's panic station. Um,
Like what? 3-0?
Even then, I would not be panicking. Again, it depends on what your expectations are. It's too early
Yeah.
in the season to throw everything away and panic. That's just my like. Everybody can do their own thing, and you can panic. But I'm not. I'm not gonna panic, even if we lose against Inter. I'm gonna talk about the concerns I have. That's a difference, or the issues I have with it. But panic again. That's not. That's not.
We
We're
still
not
have
there.
a very, very long season. May is still like 7 months away, and
Yeah.
we have
Many
the
injuries can
and we
happen.
have the Club World Cup as well. So the season is extra long.
You know what it is? We
Yeah.
all want to change, or most of us want to change. You cannot panic and basically
Yeah.
not throw it away, but be over the top with everything, with good and bad, at the start of November. Like that makes no. If we're gonna do that, then we're gonna go into menu territory, where we're gonna
Yeah.
be
Mhm.
crap for
We are
10,
like
15 years.
one
or
quarter
Arsenal.
in.
Yeah, we need to have patience
So-
at one point. We need to give it some sort of time to actually see
Yeah.
if it translated in something bad or but it's too soon to say it's gonna be a fantastic journey or an awful journey. It's way too soon in my opinion. In all seriousness, we need to avoid defeat against Inter against Inter and win the remaining games before the international break. Well, it's not gonna be easy. And it's probably not gonna happen. We're not gonna win all our games. But I was
Yeah.
not expecting us to do that before the Stuttgart defeat as well. I didn't expect us to lose against Stuttgart, but I was not expecting us to win every single game from now until the international break. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. Give me your prediction for Inter. I'm not gonna do it because I will have my preview, and otherwise I'm gonna ruin the video. Which, by the way, is gonna be with Anthony from Inter Worldwide, so it's gonna be that type of preview. But you guys, give me your preview or prediction for that game. You can change it in the Discord. You know, no worries.
No, it's 1-1. I will say 1-1.
I don't know. I haven't had any wild dreams about games happening as
Somebody
usual.
did in the chat. He said,
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah, when he took a nap.
You remember? You guys remember last year for the Roma game? I was like, I had a dream we beat them 12-0, and I just put that as my prediction in the Discord.
Yeah.
No. I think this one 0-0. I guess. Yeah,
Oh.
pretty stale,
Mm.
but yeah, realistic. It's very imaginable. Yeah.
I think they're gonna be goals.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna do my prediction until
3-3.
Saturday. Oh my god.
Oh, 3-3 is too much for the heart. You know?
After being 3-0 down, maybe you will accept it at that
After
point.
being 3-0 down, 3-3 is gonna make me jump to the ceiling.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will see. We will see. We will talk about that Monday. And let's see if we're depressed or not. We can't be depressed because I think we play Parma on Wednesday, right? Or Thursday?
Yeah.
We
Wednesday.
play
think Wednesday.
Parma on Wednesday, yes.
So yeah,
Wednesday,
there's no time to be depressed because it's it's game day already, I guess, which is good. Which is good, by the way.
Yeah. I love this so much.
Yeah, especially after a bad result, you know. It's just maybe it was better for us if we play Lecce this week instead of Inter, but it is what it is, you know. Need to deal with it.
Yeah.
They need to deal with it as well.
We will learn a lot from this Inter game, to be honest. Like the characteristics of this young team, you know, how Motta reacts to these things. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, wasn't Julian saying like he wants to see how the team reacts during a bad moment?
Yeah.
So now's the chance.
Yeah, and it's even worse when you're missing players as well.
Yeah, that's like it's a hardcore difficulty.
Yeah, we will see. We'll talk about that on Monday, people. That's it for me. Gonna wrap this up because I need to wake up in about 7 hours. I will talk to you back live on Friday, probably a live show, call-in show. Haven't done that in about a month or so. So stay tuned for that. And other than that, I will be back on Saturday for the preview, but especially Sunday post game for a reaction. Hopefully with a good one, because the win against Inter will do a lot for everybody. And it's not to say that we are having a depressing season, but if you win against Inter, even if it's a scrappy one, like
Yeah, no one cares.
if you shit house your win, like I've said it many times, I don't care how you win against
Yeah.
Inter. You win. That's it. If you win it in the last minute with a deflected goal, I'm gonna celebrate that shamelessly. I will come on the next day and I will say, you know what, performance-wise, for the season, it needs to be much better. But on the day, I'm gonna be shameless and I'm gonna enjoy it. So and I'm gonna act like we had the best performances ever on that pitch individually, even though it's a crappy win. I'll take it against Inter. But let's see.
Always.
Let's see. That's it for me, people. Norbert, Malik, thanks for joining. Speak to you on Monday post game. And that's it for me as well, people. Have a good night or a good morning.